Hello, my name is Samantha Ammon. I will be doing my PowerPoint presentation on a supervisor's influence on organizational politics. So the topic today is dysfunctional politics. So what are dysfunctional politics? Our textbook author, Riggio, explains that dysfunctional politics are political behaviors that detract from the organization's ability to attain its goals. So basically that means that it is any behavior that a supervisor, an employee, or anyone in the company performs which removes the ability for others to be productive and have some satisfaction in their work and attain their goals and accomplish their tasks. So my real life problem is my job as a education coordinator at a local nonprofit with a CEO who used her organizational power to her benefit and was not hesitant to pull the card of having a legitimate power source because she was CEO of the company. Unfortunately, it was a small business, so I was not able to go up into higher management to report the problem, so I was stuck in the position of having to listen to a lot of the dysfunctional politics that she liked to talk about on a daily basis. My job included working with children to educate them and help them improve their school work habits, as well as supervising volunteers that help them with their homework. However, I spent most of my time with the CEO discussing internal and external political issues, which greatly affected my workload, and I was not able to spend as much time with the kids as I would have liked to, and it made me personally unsatisfied with the nonprofit itself and my unproductivity because it's not who I am, and I was being forced to not be as productive and not contribute as much as I would have liked to, which really affected me and my personal mental health, as well as the coworkers around me, because they were all suffering from the same problem, which I later found out as I was quitting. So in our textbook, Riggio explains that there is certain organizational interests and goals and individual interests and goals which overlap, which you can see in this graph or in this circle map that I explained, that explains the functional political behavior and then the dysfunctional political behavior and how that overlaps. And you see in the dysfunctional political behavior, a lot of it's for the individual, so it doesn't really affect the organization directly, but it affects the individual more than the organization, which inadvertently affects the organization because they are the employees that cannot be so productive. So internal external issues result in worker anxiety, which is not positive because you are having issues from internal forces, from coworkers, and also from external issues that managers are expressing to employees, or it could be employees expressing to other employees depending on what department they're in. So because of these issues that are being talked about, it shapes people's perceptions of organizational politics. As you see in this diagram below, done by Ferris in 1989, you can see how he developed a strategy with a study that says the perceptions of organizational politics results in psychological strain, satisfaction, which turns into turnover, intentions, performances, and work outcomes. The research that I chose was a research by Kakmar, Bozeman, Carlson, and Anthony, done in 1989, which actually looked at this model and did more further analysis of it. So they had 3 parts. They studied the correlation between job turnover and politics, correlations between employees, understanding what the politics were about, basically background of the company and what their issues are, so having awareness of it, and how the organization's satisfaction, supervisor effectiveness, and self-reported performance correlates to the political issues. So their results in testing those 3 parts were that supervisors have an important role in job satisfaction, that understanding what is going on in a company improves job satisfaction, and that more knowledge means more productivity. So the more knowledgeable, the more the employee has a better understanding of what is going on, the happier they are. So personally, I definitely see value in their study and can testify for it. Solutions would be to use your own power in a company and make employees more aware of what's going on, and talk to them about the positives that are going on in the company that you are aware of, so that they have a better understanding of what's going on and are more satisfied with their work. Also talking about positives in your personal work. If you're a manager or supervisor or even just a regular employee, you can talk about the positives of your work and what you're doing, which can help bring more positivity in your workforce and make for a better working environment. And lastly is asking a manager to explain some positive things going on. So something I could have done is I could have asked the manager, since she was CEO, what positive things were happening and what were the children's learning habits and how are they developing and what positive outcomes were happening from just being at this nonprofit. And I think talking about more positivity and more positive political issues can definitely decrease dysfunctional politics and increase functional politics. And that's it. So thank you for listening.